Welcome back to AG Chelsea TV. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Chelsea Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Fulham made new bid for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Fulham are now hopeful of signing Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea this summer. According to The Guardian, they believe that they can clinch a deal for Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is thought to be keen on moving to Craven Cottage before the transfer window closes. The same outlet claims that Fulham have made a fresh bid for the winger, though it is not clear how much it is worth. Hudson-Odoi spent last season out on loan at Bayer Leverkusen, but things did not go quite to plan for him. He made just 14 appearances in the Bundesliga and failed to score a single goal in the German top flight. His next move now looks like it will be to another English club, with a Chelsea exit seemingly an inevitability at this point. The 22-year-old has entered the final 12 months of his contract, so the Blues will probably want to sell their wide man to avoid losing him on a free transfer next summer. Hudson-Odoi has not quite fulfilled his potential at Chelsea, though that is understandable after the serious injury he picked up a few seasons ago. Nevertheless, leaving Stamford Bridge for good could be what is best for him, especially when you look at the current wide options Mauricio Pochettino has. Mudryk, Raheem Sterling and Noni Madueke all appear to be above the England international in the pecking order right now. Hudson-Odoi could always stay as a squad option, providing cover for the above names, but he obviously does not want that anymore. If the attacker did, then he would not be entertaining Fulham's advances and would not have gone out on loan last term. It is disappointing that Hudson-Odoi has been unable to shine at Stamford Bridge, but he is a talented winger who may now get the chance to do that at Fulham. Tyler Adams set for Leeds United return as talks over £20 million Chelsea move have broken down. Talks between Chelsea and Leeds for the transfer of Tyler Adams have broken down after the parties were unable to come to an agreement, according to reports. The Blues had triggered the USMNT midfielder's £20 million release clause and were thought to be preparing for the player's medical in West London. Mauricio Pochettino is keen to bolster his squad's midfield ahead of the start of the season, which kicks off on Sunday against Liverpool, and the 24-year-old is equally intent on a move away from the relegated Yorkshire side. But as per Sky Sports News, Adams is now expected to return to the Whites with neither club able to reach an agreement for the player. The news comes in the wake of roiling turbulency over a proposed British record move for Brighton's Moises Caicedo. Adams joined Leeds just one season ago after moving from RB Leipzig, but was unable to find his form at Elland Road during the Whites' chaotic campaign. The United States star made 24 Premier League appearances, but failed regist. Chelsea prepare to match Liverpool's Moises Caicedo bid. Chelsea are expected to match Liverpool's bid for Brighton Hove Albion midfielder Moises Caicedo, sources have confirmed to 90 Minutes. The Reds agreed to pay a British record £111 million fee to the Seagulls during the early hours of Friday morning and had expected to wrap up a deal for the midfielder over the weekend. Liverpool were so confident that completion of Caicedo's move was imminent that manager Jurgen Klopp openly talked about negotiations during a press conference on Friday. Caicedo was due on Merseyside to undergo a medical soon after the conclusion of Klopp's presser, but has yet to arrive to complete the move to Liverpool, and the club are believed to be furious at his representatives. 90 Minutes now understands that the Ecuador international has informed Brighton that he is prioritising a move to Chelsea and wants the club to allow further time to receive an acceptable offer. Chelsea saw bids worth £70 million and £80 million for Caicedo rejected by Brighton earlier this summer, despite being made aware that only offers north of £100 million would be considered. And sources have told 90 Minutes they will now match Liverpool's record sum in the next 24 hours in order to try and close a deal. 90 Minutes reported earlier on Friday that Chelsea were refusing to accept defeat in the race to sign Caicedo, and it appears they may be given another chance to make their move for their top midfield target. Chelsea have since abandoned their pursuit of Leeds United's Tyler Adams, despite agreeing a £20 million fee. Ironically, 90 Minutes understands that Brighton have been in touch with the USMNT captain's representatives regarding a move to the Amex Stadium. ARGX boss gives Arsenal and Chelsea fresh £34 million hope. Mohamed Kudus continues to be linked with a move to Arsenal and Chelsea. Despite ARGX's transfer agreement with Brighton, Arsenal and Chelsea could still yet sign Mohamed Kudus this summer, with a positive update emerging despite the transfer agreement between Brighton and ARGX. Stamford Bridge appeared as the Netherlands international's most likely destination, but interest from the Seagulls and Arsenal was always prominent, with one of those teams going on to make a formal offer. As revealed by The Athletic earlier this month, ARGX reached an agreement in principle with the Seagulls to sell Kudus for just under €40 million, £34.5m. However, the deal stalled on the side of the player, with Kudus' entourage wanting to include a release clause, desire not matched by Brighton. As per reports in the Dutch media, Chelsea's ongoing saga involving Moises Caicedo has seen attention shift from other targets, such as Kudus. Liverpool have seen a £110 million offer accepted by Brighton for the 21-year-old. However, the player himself prefers a move to West London over Merseyside. That triple-figure proposal is yet to be matched or improved upon by Chelsea, although the plan is to do so very soon. In the meantime, Liverpool will take on Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, with ARGX manager Maurice confirming that Kudus will also be in action this weekend, despite the interest from London and agreement with Brighton. "I can confirm that Kudus can play tomorrow," he said in a press conference ahead of ARGX's Eredivisie opener against Heracles Almelo. "There are things happening around him, but nothing concrete happened in the end. I'm very happy that he's with us tomorrow." Crystal Palace have no desire to sell Michael Olise. Roy Hodgson says Crystal Palace have no desire to sell their best players amid interest from Chelsea, Manchester City and Tottenham. On the eve of the new Premier League season, two of Palace's key assets are linked with leaving Selhurst Park, namely Michael Olise and Eberechi. Olise has reportedly agreed terms with Chelsea, though the Blues have had an opening offer of £26 million turned down, but this will be a story to follow as it is said that the young winger has a £35 million release clause, something that has also piqued the interest of City, who are looking at Riyad Mahrez replacements. As for Ease, the England international has been tentatively linked with Spurs, who could be set to pursue the attacking midfielder now that Harry Kane is departing for Bayern Munich. Having already lost legendary talisman Wilfried Zaha this summer, Palace are determined to keep hold of their brightest attacking talents who excelled last season. It would be a bitter blow now if we had to start the season with other of our top players being tempted away from us, or other clubs coming in and persuading Crystal Palace to sell them, Hodgson said in his pre-match press conference on Friday. "There is no desire to sell any of those players, and we cannot avoid speculation that other clubs will be interested in players of that quality." Olise recorded 11 league assists, a feat only bettered by Kevin De Bruyne, Mohamed Salah and Leandro Trossard, while Ease was the Eagles' top scorer with 10 goals. There is also interest in Palace's centre-backs Marc Guéhi and Joachim Andersen from a variety of top Premier League clubs. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.